Thank you. So I'm going to tell you a story about one of the greatest lessons that I've ever learned in my career. And it has to do with bringing your heart and your soul to your work. So I'm preaching to the choir here, obviously. It happened early on for me, thankfully. It was 1989. I'm working for Interaction Associates as a trainer and a consultant. And we're having a tea for tea, a train the trainer. And my colleagues and I are playing the style game. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a game intended to illuminate all the different styles. The shy professor, the cheerleader, the guide on the side, the comedian. And after we finished brainstorming, we decided, let's challenge each other. Let's really challenge each other and make each other teach the next piece in our biggest stretch. Okay. And they said, Debra, why don't you be the comedian? And I said, thanks, guys. I thought I was funny, actually. Not so much. Not so much. Not so much. So picture this. I'm 24 years old. I'm 24 years old. And, you know, I'm training seasoned corporate executives at GE and all kinds of pharmaceuticals. And so I was prepared. I was always well prepared. And I would wear my hair nice and tight. And I would wear my glasses. And I was very well suited up because I had to really know my stuff, right? And I wanted them to know that I knew my stuff. And I was very impassioned about the content. I love the content. Collaborative problem solving is my favorite thing, and I want you to get it. This is not funny. There's nothing funny about my passion, is there? Okay. So, at that time, I was also taking an improv theater class for fun on the side. And I just can't even do this. I was taking an improv theater class on the side, and I was exploring all different parts of myself, different characters. I had Susie Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm very shy. And I had Angela, who's from Jersey, because I'm from Jersey. And you don't want to mess with Angela, all right? You know what I'm talking about? You don't want to mess with her. What? Don't with me. And then one of my most beloved, developed characters was Mary Lou. She's from Atlanta. And she's a sassy, bold Southern belle who everybody liked because she's always smiling. She says everything with a smile, and she's sweet. But she's very quick-witted, and she says exactly what she's supposed to say very directly in the moment that she says it. But you can always listen to sassy Mary Lou, always. She's sweet, and she's real. Well, Mary Lou really came alive in me, so much so that she propelled me to start singing in blues jams in Boston. I had never done anything like that in my life. On Monday nights, at 11 o'clock at night, in the Faneuil Hall basement bar called the Boston Beach Club, there you would find me every Monday night with Silas Jr. and the Hot Ribs singing the blues. It was the most crazy, terrifying experience I had ever had. And it was very thrilling, by the way, at the same time. Nobody even knew I did this. My friends didn't even know I did this for a long time, till I came out at some point. So thrilling as it was and terrifying as it was, there was something that I was discovering about myself that was obviously very powerful. And so back to the lesson. So I thought about what my colleagues had said, and I took their feedback to heart. And I thought about how little they knew about my secret underground life. Even my friends didn't know about. And I also reflected on how separate that creative side of me was from my work, my professional identity. So I took the challenge and I decided I am going to stretch myself. I'm really going to stretch myself. Caution to the wind, I'm going to improv my way through that piece tomorrow. I'm just going to do it. So get in the car in the morning, Aretha playing the whole time, and I sang my heart out. I got in my zone. And I walked in the room, hair down, flowy pants on, no suit, and I put up my chart. my piece was called the narrowing tools, right? It's part of the collaborative problem-solving model. So I had my chart, and I was scared as hell. And I nervously turned around, and I squared off. And Mary Lou by my side, I began. You got a lot of information, and you need to sort it out. We got the narrowing tools to help you out. We got N over 3, sort by category, force field analysis, and the criteria matrix. Well, it was an out-of-body experience. It was a revival meeting in that room. People were hysterical, clapping, hooting and hollering. The adrenaline was outrageous. It was outrageous. I had arrived. I was completely present, and so were they. So were they. They were there, and I don't know how long it went on. It's a blackout after that. That's the part I remember. But I know that Mary Lou improvised her way through that whole teach, and she made sure that they got it. And I can tell you, I bet they never forgot those tools, ever, right? So, the lesson for me, I mean, for you, it may not be music. For me, in that moment, everything shifted. I never, ever did a meeting without music. I carted my entire music library, which, by the way, were not playlists or Pandora at the time. It was big books of CDs and portable speakers that were giant, all the way to Europe or wherever I was traveling. I brought it every single time. And I would go into the room and I would set up with my music and I'd be listening to my favorite song, which, by the way, I had to do today too because I was just as nervous today about anything else. And it got me in my zone. It got me in my zone. And guess what? When the clients would come in, I would kind of play psychic DJ. I always knew exactly what song was the right thing for the tone. You know, when I was working with the hospitals in Texas, it was Emmylou Harris, and it was all different people would you know, intuitively remind me about what was needed. So it was subtle. It was very subtle. I only did it on breaks. I did it in the beginning when people were coming in. I didn't really, you know, bop people over the head with the music, but it was magic. It was magic. The thing that connected me most to my heart and to my soul and my passions that got me present in that moment, I was completely present in that moment, was also universal. Surprise, surprise. Music is the universal connector. So again, it might not be music for you. It might be, you know, the feeling of casting that line out on the water and feeling that when you get a big fish on the line, or this humongous juicy tomato that you've grown, you know, and all the other parts of your garden that are amazing. Or maybe it's, you know, that cross-court shot that you got exactly where you wanted it to be last Sunday. And you bring that part of yourself into your leadership. So when I work with clients like you know, executive presence or engagement strategies or visioning, whatever it is about leadership effectiveness, I find that if I tell my story either directly, sometimes, or indirectly, it allows people to find their Mary Lou. It allows people to let their hair down. It allows people to be okay with what they thought wasn't okay. And I just can't say enough about the importance of merging those worlds. Those personal passions, those things that light you up are the things that light everybody up. And when you light up, you can feel it, and so can the rest of the whole world. So I urge you, I implore you to stop being afraid and to take that risk and to just drop those fears right now. Drop them. And I want you to think for a moment. I'm not going to take you through meditation because I've been through that 3 times today, and I know you're all tired of it right now. We all do it every day with our clients. I'm going to tell you, just think for a moment. What's your passion? Just yell it out. Yell it out. What's your personal passion? What is it?
Polarity.
Polarities. What else?
Music.
Music. What else do you do that nobody knows about?
Good sex.
Good sex. Woo! I'm not so sure about that one. All right, but it might be there. Anybody else? Come on.
Furry animals.
Furry animals. not really. But think about those animals. And think about the connection. Where's my animal girl? She's not here. She left. There's a connection. There's a connection. The connection is to you. And if you're connected and if you're present, then that gorgeous sparkle in your eyes and that giant smile is going to bring you what you need in your business. Thank you.